Welcome to day 28 of this 28-day Follow Your Cycle yoga series. If you would like to receive all of the other practices in this series so that you can follow along in time with your cycle, the link will be in the description box to sign up for free. If your particular cycle goes longer than 28 days and you're wondering what you're going to do in that limbo land between practice 28 and your period actually arriving, I would encourage you to pick your favorite practices from the last 5 days. Pick and choose the ones that feel best to you and repeat them during this period of waiting. Today's class is designed to be practiced just before you go to bed, although of course you can do it at any time of day. Let's get on the mat and move together for the final time in this series. We're going to start our practice today just by bringing awareness to the breath. So if you want to sit up on the feet like I am and that's comfortable for you, then please do so. If you'd prefer to sit in any other way, then do that. I want you to bring the hands to the belly. So for me in my cycle, this is the day before my period arrives. And typically I'm cranky. I really need a lot of solo time at this stage of the cycle. I'm irritable. I find that I lose my appetite. And I'm just generally more lethargic than normal. So if that's you too, I want you to bring a sense of letting go to your practice today. Not needing to grip or hold on. Not needing to hold on to any thoughts or run round and around with excuses or arguments in your own head. I just want you to be here. So we almost hold the belly like in a nurturing, loving way. Let the belly rest in the hands, letting it hang. Just find some full, deep breaths, bringing a sense of softening to the face. To the shoulders. Bring a sense of ease to being in your body. Not needing to grip. And then we release the hands forward. We're going to come into a forward fold, and I just want you to hang here in this fold. So I want you to make it as comfortable as you possibly can, as many props as you need to make it comfortable, and that might be a bolster under the head, so you're really not hanging too much at all. That could be a chair, if you want to bring a chair so you can rest on a chair. It could be the bolster underneath the hands so that you can really rest the upper body. I want you to make sure the head and neck is soft and just hanging freely. Keep gently pressing through the heels. As you inhale, I want you to use that prop beneath you to just straighten through the back, straighten through the legs, and just rock the hips from side to side. Bring the right knee down to the mat and step the left leg forward. If you have a bolster here, this is great because as you lean forward, the bolster is going to stop you moving too far into this pose. And I want you to keep it nice and gentle through the hips today. So feel free to use that support. Allow the head and neck to soften. And then bring the weight back into that back knee. We're moving into our pigeon pose. So heel and toe that front foot over to the opposite side. You can either keep the Shin parallel to the top of the mat, or tuck the foot in towards the groin, whatever feels best for your hips. If you need extra support underneath the hips, feel free to bring them in now. And then I want you to soften down. So that might mean bringing that bolster back in to make this really comfortable today. Whatever you need to allow yourself to soften and release here. Next breath. Slowly bring yourself back up. Come into that kneeling lunge on the opposite side. So bring the bolster into the opposite side if you were using it as a support. And just gently rocking and rolling here. Bring the weight into that back knee. As you bring that foot across, maybe tuck it into the groin. Stretch the leg out behind you and come down into your pigeon. Getting yourself comfortable. And then letting go. Next breath. Slowly coming up and roll to the right hip so that you can come all the way around. We're going to come into our cow-faced or Gomukhasana legs. So if your knees are happy to do this, we're bringing one foot under, the other one up and over. So it's almost like our knees stack on top of each other. If your bottom knee in particular is like, don't enjoy, you can stretch the other leg out in front. You can take both legs out in front if neither of these positions feel good for you. And you can just cross the ankles as another option as well. We're going to use a block here as a prop just to bring some reach between the shoulder blades. So what I'm doing behind me is bringing the top hand down, the bottom hand is reaching towards the block, and then we're going to be swapping. So working with a bit of mobility here, also a little bit of stretch. You might find it trickier to reach on one side than the other. And your brain may also have to engage a little bit to think about where you need to be reaching and holding onto that block. Case in point, my brain did not engage. So when you're ready, getting your legs in position and then using that block, inhaling it up, reaching it around, and then the other hand is reaching around to grab hold of the block. And just gently moving here. Taking your time, there's no rush or hurry. One more here. Leave the top hand where it is and release the block to the side, and then reach the other arm around and see if the fingers can interlace and find each other. If they can't, you might want to bring a yoga strap in between so that you're holding onto two edges of the strap rather than just reaching and trying to grip towards the hands. Once you've found that grip, I want you to see if you can soften the shoulders. Soften through the neck and the face. See if you can find that sense of ease here. If you would like to, you can gently lean forward in this pose and explore how that feels in the body. Just keep breathing. Slowly rise yourself back up. Release the hands, and we're going to change the cross of the legs. So if you haven't had the legs crossed at all, that's fine. Just find whatever variation you have going on the opposite side. So if it's just ankles crossed, cross the opposite way. We're going to come back to this block work with the arms, reaching the hand behind and inhaling. Take your time here. Leave the top hand where it is now. Move the block to the side and then see if you can find the fingertips towards each other. Like mine, you'll probably find one side doesn't quite reach. Bring in the strap if you need it. Take a breath. And then soften in. Soften the shoulders, the face. Maybe you also want to lean forward if you did on the other side. Breathing here. See if you can bring a sense of letting go, even to these poses where we feel like we're tied in knots. Where can you soften? Is it the face? Is it the jaw? Is it the shoulders and neck? Slowly bring yourself back up. Release the hands. Roll the shoulders back a few times. Let's take both legs wide now. This is where we're going to finish our practice today in a restorative variation of our wide leg forward fold. So take the legs as wide as what feels comfortable for you. Bolster is coming in for me. I'm also going to bring a block in so that I've got my head to rest on something. And then I'm just going to gently lean forward, focusing only on my breath here. Letting everything else soften and fade away. Letting go of all thoughts of the rest of my day or tomorrow or next week. Letting go of any gripping in the body, any tension that remains. And putting down any worries that have been going around and around in my brain. Knowing that I can pick them up tomorrow if needed, but for today they'll sit beside me. I can let go of their heavy weight. Letting go of the breath fully with each exhalation. Allowing myself to completely let go. In your next breath, slowly bring yourself back. And keeping the eyes open and coming back up to have a seat. Take your time doing this. There is no hurry. If you're heading straight to bed now, feel free to just hit stop, roll over. Good night. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I hope that you've enjoyed these 28 days and that you continue to practice with me. If tomorrow is day one for you, as it is for me, let's go back to the beginning, lean back in again, and continue following the wisdom of the rhythm of our own body. Thank you for being here.